Hello student, this is a program for the perfect square. First understand what is a perfect square. So a square number or a perfect square is an integer, that is the square of an integer. Alright, in other words, it's a product of some integer with itself. Okay, for example 9 is a square number since it can be written as 3 into 3. Square numbers are non-negative. That's a very important line. Alright, now students, let me read the program. Write a program to input two unequal positive numbers and check whether they are perfect square numbers or not. If the user enters a negative number, then the program displays the message square root of a negative number cannot be determined. Alright, this is what you have to do. So you have to take how many inputs? Two inputs. Two numbers you have to enter. Alright, and they are going to be unequal positive numbers. If the user enters a negative number, then the program displays the message square root of a negative number cannot be determined, and the sample inputs here are 81 and 100. So they are perfect square numbers, right? Then it is a square of 9 and this is a square of 10. So they are perfect square numbers. Then sample input 225 and 99. So here students, you can see that 225 is a perfect square number, but 99 is not a perfect square number. Now what's the logic of the program? So as I've told you already that I have to enter two numbers. First we have to enter number A, and then for the variable B, these are going to have the two numbers, two variables. Okay. After that we have to check for the negativity, means A is negative or B is negative, then we have to give a message square root of a negative number cannot be determined. Alright, if they are non-negative, so we come here, the control is here, and now here what is this? We take the square of number 1 and then we take the square of the second number. Okay, and after that students, we have to get the difference of these square roots which we have taken here. First for a number A or variable A minus math.floor sqrta, means whatever the square root of A we have got, its floor has to be calculated. Now what is floor function? Right, floor you need to understand. Floor, it is also a static method of the math class. It calculates the floor value of the number. It parses a parameter of type double. It returns the largest. Just read it properly. It returns the largest or closest positive integer floating point value that is less than or equal to the argument. Alright, and is equal to a mathematical integer. So you can use the round function also here, and seal also not a problem, right? So here we go for calculating the floor, and then we have to get the difference of a square root and this floor result. Similar thing we will do for B also. And then if A is perfect square, means this variable will contain the difference of these. Basically if the difference is 0, then it is a perfect square number, and if there is also difference is 0, then also B is also perfect square number. So if is A perfect square equal to 0 and is B perfect square equal to 0, then we have to print they are perfect square numbers. Alright, otherwise if A perfect square equal to 0, then A is a perfect square and B is not a perfect square number. If B perfect square equal to 0, then A is not a perfect square number, B is perfect square number. Otherwise both are perfect square numbers. So this is the basic solution or different steps performed for the program. Now let me read the code for you and make all the things clear to you. Now students, import java.util.scanner. We have got for the scanner class because we need to create the object for a scanner so that we could get the input from the keyboard. Now we begin the class definition. It's a Java program, so class perfect square is the name of the class. Then logic is inside the main function. First we create students the object of the scanner class. Now the object sc is ready. Scanner sc equal to new scanner system.in. This is the proper statement. And then we give a message, enter first number. through this print statement in Java, system.out.print. So we write this statement here, terminated by a semicolon. After that we have a variable declaration int a, then we give the input. So int a assignment operator sc dot next int. So now the value is entered. A is ready with the value. Now we give another message using the system.out.print. What message is there? Enter second number, semicolon. After that, students, we have another variable intb, its declaration, and at the same time it is being initialized, or the value is being entered using the sc.nextInt. Sc is the scanner's object and nextInt is the function. After that, students, here we write the very first thing, if a condition associated with the if statement is, because we have to use if else here. First condition here is a less than 0. That means if a is negative, and then b less than 0, and in between there is logical or. So that means either b a is less than 0 or b is less than 0, means either of the number is negative. So we have to give a message, square root of a negative number cannot be determined. Alright. After doing this, we go to the else part of this if else construct. Inside the else, what we have to do? We have to calculate the square root of a, our first number, and the square root of b, which is our second number. How do we do that? We need to declare variable double sqrt a, double sqrt b, then double sqrt assignment operator math.sqrt a. So math.sqrt, as we all know, that it returns the square root of the number, alright, and terminated by a semicolon. Then double sqrt b, math.sqrt, we have to pass b because this time we need the square root of b, and terminated the statement with semicolon. After that, students, we have to get the floor value of these square roots, and then we have to get the difference of square root of a and math.floor sqrt a. How do we write that? We need two more variables. First is double is a perfect sq equal to, means assignment operator, sqrt a, square root of a will be there, right? We have calculated it here, minus math.floor sqrt a. So the floor value of the square root which we have calculated here, okay? And then their difference will be stored in the is a perfect sq. After that, students, we have second variable double is b perfect sq equal to sqrt b minus math.floor sqrt b. So here the difference is difference of square root of b and floor value of square root of b, okay? After that, we have to check. Now there is a concept of nested if also in this program. So it's a very good program to practice. Many concepts like math functions are there, sqrt and flow, if else if is there, and nested if else is also there, and you have got logical operators like and or both have been used, then relational operators like equal to is here, right? So it's a very good program to practice different concepts. All right. Now, students, what is there in the nested if? First condition is a perfect sq equal to 0, means the difference is 0 for a, and means second must also be true, is b perfect sq equal to 0. Then both are true, then they are perfect square number. This will be the message on the screen, and you can see, students, this is if body, which is written in the curly brace. So whether it is single statement or more than one, please do use curly braces. It will be good for you. It will make your program more organized. After that, else if is there. Else if is a perfect sq equal to 0. So in this case, a is a perfect square number. Alright. But b is not a perfect square number, because a contains, means this difference is 0. Alright. If both are having, both the differences are 0, then they both are perfect square numbers. Similarly, now we go for the third condition here, else if is b perfect sq equal to 0. That means it is not a perfect square number, and b is a perfect square number. So in this case, a is not a perfect square number, but b is a perfect square number when this condition is true. Then neither, means any of these conditions, means first, second, third, is not true, so automatically the control will be transferred to the else, right? So in that case it will be printed both are not perfect square numbers. So I hope everybody is getting the clear idea. So here is the closing of nested if, then outer else is there, which is here, right? This was the second closing braces for this else, right? This one, and then the closing of the function, and then the closing of class. So I hope everybody has a clear idea of the program. Here you can see the inputs given here. Enter first number, this is the output of the program. So 81 is there, enter second number, then 100. So they are perfect square numbers. I hope students, everybody has understood the program well. Thanks everyone.